What is up, YouTube? I am Shack Central, and this is the Uniquely Hardcore Challenge. In this series, I am attempting to collect every unique item in Path of Exile, not just in the solo self-found game mode, but in hardcore as well. It's going to be a long grind, and it's going to be a ton of fun. So sit back and join me for today's unique experience. Finally got a siege map after trying for so long. Finally literally started here, worked my way over and got the tier 12 siege. So I now have one piece of gear that has 20% chance to avoid elemental ailments in addition to the chest piece and the crystal skin, which is really nice because that means I am over 70% to avoid. I'm actually three quarters of the time we avoid elemental ailments. It's not enough, but it's good. Oh, I have the wrong filter. Yep. I was trying to figure something felt a little tiny bit off. Okay. Much better. Ooh. There you go. I mean, that's just proof you change your loot filter, you get uniques. So this map will put us at 98 completion, and then we're gonna push through the maps that we have to get to the 16th Watchstone, and hopefully be able to build up the stockpile to work on 17 through 20 and get to Cirrus. Alright, so first time doing that map. That boss was kind of a joke. I did Bramble, I think it's called Bramble Valley. It's a tier 14 map. I went into that blind. I realized pretty quickly into that fight that I had seen other people get like clips of other people getting absolutely like dumpstered in that map. Realized I was in a lot of trouble. Backed out for a minute, and then just kind of went in and played it super cautiously. Still almost died multiple times. That fight is no joke. But came out of it first time seeing it, came out of it deathless, so I can't really complain about that. Okay. I've already done. I found one of 3 trigger crafts, so we're technically on the way. Let's do this thing. I don't want that hanging around in my inventory any longer than it needs to be. Plus the story's getting pretty good. I don't know if you noticed, I've had that cat pet out since the Kurai questline. I'm not setting up this board until we've fought Katarina enough times to get all of the Katarina uniques. So I'm gonna run the Syndicate safe houses whenever they're available, so we maximize the amount of betrayal missions we get in each map, so we don't only get 1 or 2 or whatever if safe house is ready. It's good XP, and it's good for what we're trying to do. I would be doing it slightly differently if it weren't for the challenge, but I'm happy with doing it this way. What do we get? Give me something good. Actually, I believe that belt is a new one. I think the belt's a new one. Oh, cool. Very cool. Alright, 1 of 8 light poacher. Oof! Thought I was out of the way. Apparently not. I have not had... Oh, I was going to say I haven't had a Conqueror drop some, but I guess we did get the, whatever it's called. What is this? What is that? Nice game. You guys may have played through the Cathedral rooftops to kill Katava. You ever played through the rooftops? What a zone. This is peak Path of Exile. You may not like it. All right, I will look at that. Let me finish this. Oh no, don't do it in here. No. The heck is happening? It's really gonna suck if that gets in the way. I guess I gotta make sure. Don't let me. Oh no. Fighting bloodlines, packs of Baran mobs with a literal ceiling in my way. Oh yeah. FP. Oh my gosh, no. Freaking first-person shooter PoE. Oh no! Oh no! I don't like this. Nobody liked that. Oh, I did it too early. Fight sucks. All the other Guardian fights suck. Woo! Ooh, ILO 85 imbued one is sweet. And try to whittle down the little guys. Whittle down the littles. This thing freaking sniping me. Not kind. Almost. 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 He's fractured. This sucks. I don't want to do this. No. No fracture, thanks. Oh! Here. Let's 1v1 me, bro. Thought that was the end for our heroes. Oh, that was not fun or good. What was that? Denderbait seems like a good, decent choice. Or a Witch Fire Brew. Witch Fire Brew might be the play. I have 2 of those. Let's try that. What's that worth? Oh. Which Fire Brews is the play? I get to do it again? I'm doing Denderbait. Can't stop me. It hurts. Alright, so you may have seen some of this footage earlier. Most of these were found on stream last night, but we have another bunch of uniques for kind of a little roundup here. So we're getting super close to 300. Apparently I'm getting Twitch followers while I'm completely offline, which is cool. Okay, but let's get into it. Shiver Sting is a 2-handed sword very early on in the leveling. It's got a lot of fizz damage, got a lot of cold damage, and then you leech some of that fizz damage as mana, and you cannot be frozen. So, pretty powerful early game sword. Agnerod East is a fascinating weapon. There's a whole series of these Agnerods in all 4 directions. Agnerod East is a late game one. It requires a lot of strength. It gives you a lot of intelligence, but more importantly, it gives you a whole bunch of lightning damage and +2 to all your lightning spell skill gems, not just socketed ones, all lightning spell skill gems. Damage penetrates lightning resistance, and you have increased duration of lightning ailments, which for the most part is going to be shock unless you're changing it somehow. Chinsol is an assassin bow. It's a very cool weapon. Used to be a lot more popular than it is now, but it has a whole lot of fizz damage, and it adds fire damage and attack speed. You get a huge more damage multiplier if your arrow hits are at close range, but you also gain bow knockback at close range, so it pushes them out from you. Very cool bow. Lion Eye's Remorse is awesome. Getting one of the Lion Eyes items out of the way. Has a huge amount of armor, has a huge amount of life. It does reduce your movement speed, but it also has an increased chance to block, and you take less physical damage from projectile attacks. So pretty standard shield, but very, very powerful. Prismatic Eclipse is one of the weapons that cares about socket colors. So you get a chance to block attack damage while dual wielding and add some fizz damage, but mostly it's there for the socket. So you get increased global fizz damage for per red socket. You get attack speed per green socket. You get fizz damage leashes mana per blue socket. And then if you manage to get them white socketed, you can get +2 to your melee strike range. So kind of a mix and match build around weapon there, but it's a one-handed sword, so you can dual wield them. Vixen's Entrapment triggers socketed curse skills when you cast a curse. So this is a way that a lot of people would play. I believe it's Bane that this is used primarily for. Has a decent amount of energy shield, especially for a unique pair of gloves. You leech some of your spell damage as energy shield for each curse on the enemy. It gives you an additional curse, which is the big part, one of the big reasons to use it. And then your curse skills also have increased cast speed. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the main thing that the Bane builds wear, and I should probably look it up. Maybe we can play a Bane build here. Gorgon's Gaze is a really cool one. This is a drop that you only get unless you're getting it from like another spot, like you get offered one Ritual or whatever. You only get this unique from the boss of the unique map Pillars of Erun. It grants a level 20 Petrification statue skill. Has a whole bunch of energy shield, gives you a bunch of life, gives you attack and cast speed, and then while you're moving, you get increased fizz damage reduction, and then while you are stationary, you take less elemental damage, so you kind of get both sides of the defensive coin there, whether you're moving or you're stationary, and it gets the Petrification statue skill. Malagar's Restraint is a chain belt, pretty cool art. It gives you a whole bunch of lightning damage to your attacks. It does increase the duration of shocks that are on you, and then if you cause shocks, they get reflected back to you. But you do a whole bunch more damage, and you get a whole bunch more movement speed while you are shocked. So you're basically making yourself take more damage, but it gives you a bunch of benefits, and there's some interesting things you can do with it, but it's not super popular. Efficient Training is a Crimson Jewel. Gives you a bunch of strength, and it's one of the conversion ones, so intelligence in its radius gets transformed to strength, and it gives you strength. I believe we already have the dex one of that. Kikazaru is a very cool ring for people who want to get a whole lot of life regen, maybe even go something like early Righteous Fire. Gives you lightning resistance, gives you all attributes, gives you mana regen, gives you reduce effect of curses on you, but more importantly, for what people typically would use it for, you regenerate 1 life per second per level. So it gets a little bit more powerful as you level, but a very high regen ring. Acton's Nightmare is one of the unique maps. This is the one with a huge large maze and Restless Dead, so until you kill the bosses, everything you kill comes back and fights you again. Advancing Fortress is a claw. I know it looks like a shield, but it is a claw. Socketed gems in it get an automatic support by level 12 Fortify. Gives you a much higher chance to block attack damage. It's a whole bunch of fizz damage and evasion rating. Has some energy shield and life. And it also reflects, so it basically acts like a hybrid claw and shield. It reflects a whole bunch of fizz damage to melee attackers. And like I said, you get Fortify along with all of its fizz damage benefits. And then finally, Centauri's Answer is an actual shield. Gives you a high chance to block spell damage. Gives you quantity. Gives you chance to block. And then you can see there, basically when you block either melee, projectile, or spell damage, you are going to automatically apply curses to the enemies. Yeah, it ignores the curse limit and has a greater effect. And yeah, so you curse enemies with punishment when you block melee. You curse them with temp chains when you block their projectile attacks. And you curse them with LE weakness when you block their spell damage. So very, very cool shield. I don't think it's used all that much. It doesn't really have high energy shield on it because it's like a mid-axe leveling weapon. But very cool shield. And with that, we're inching closer. We're almost single digits away from 300 unique. So we're making really good progress. All right, so I figured I should probably record this. This is the first Shaper Guardian map been offered this entire league. It's only magic was offered by Zana, but we have a pretty good ritual in here. We got an Alva spawn and a Chimera. So should be hopefully a good map. There's always the possibility I'm about to get absolutely crushed, but we'll see. right. Whoa. I did not realize this was the boss. Oh, jeez. I don't like it. I don't like it. Alright, come over here. There we go. Easy peasy. Let's do it again. Ready to watch a failed blight map? I just want silver oil. That's all I want. I want 1 silver oil. Oh, hey, 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 hey. No, no, no. Not allowed. Unallowed. Oh, I don't like doing this as melee. I want to be like Ellie Hit and just off-screen everything. Alright, uniques over here. I'm always down for that. Oh, a Bisco's! Oh, heck yeah. Got that one already. Got that, but it's a 4-link. More Wanderlust. That's a second Wanderlust of the night. Don't know if I have that one yet. Actually, I think a good chunk of those might be new. There we go. We're on our way. On our way. We're picking up the pieces of it. Slowly but surely. Okay. More oils. Oops. Didn't want to take that. Maybe I didn't. I thought I picked it up. Oh, he said I heard him pick it up and put it down. Okay, do this, this, this. Click, click, click. Oh, we did it! Oh, yes. We did it. All right. Congratulations, everyone. That's called getting there. Oh, okay. Just not letting me pick it up. All right. There we go. Get lasered from that. That's the bone throwing guy. That's the slapper. And this is the guy from Ashenwood. Alright, I'm gonna wait till the cooldown comes back up. Oh, don't lag on me now. There we go. Okay, and after a couple days of streaming and a couple maps off stream, we have another roundup of uniques. Actually, a pretty huge group and some really cool ones, so I'm really excited to show these. So I'm just going to start in the top left with what I think might be the, I don't know, second or third coolest pickup we've got, which is a Cold Iron Point. It's a pretty cool dagger. Gives you +3 to level of all physical spell skill gems. So this is pretty commonly used with Herald of Agony, sometimes with Blade Fall, Blade Blast. There's a bunch of uses of this, particularly if you can wield 2 of them, so your physical spells get +6 levels. It's kind of insane. So a very cool item. More for softcore, but definitely something I'm potentially going to be thinking about making a build around. Ashcaller is a wand. It has a 10% chance to trigger a level 8 Raging Spirit when you get a kill. It gives more fire damage over time multiplier and adds fire damage to your spells. It's basically just going to summon Raging Spirits for you, and you're going to get a whole bunch of fire damage. Jorhas Blacksteel might be the coolest one we found, just from the perspective of it's a torment only item. We found it in a ritual. I almost looked past it thinking it was a base item till I took a slightly better look at the artwork, but it's a very, very cool item and a league specific unique, so it's really good to get. Gives you basically 25% chance. 25% of the time you get a kill, you're going to trigger a level 20 animate weapon. It gives you a whole bunch of additional fizz damage, some attack and cast speed. It makes the animate weapon last less oft, or last a shorter duration. That's what I meant to say. But then the weapons that you animate can create an additional copy, so you're going to get 2. So very cool item. One I've never owned before, and I was very excited to see and then pick up and discover that it was a torment item. Terran Shiver is a staff, gives you a lot of spell damage, gives you a lot of cold damage, which if you're using cold, spells are functionally the same thing. It gives you increased cast speed, and it gives +2 to level of all your cold spell skill gems, and then you have additional chance to freeze, and enemies frozen by you take even more damage. So you pretty much get the idea of what it's trying to do. It wants you to be using it while you're doing a bunch of cold spell damage. Dancing Dervish, another really cool weapon to pick up. We got a lot of cool stuff in this kind of set of uniques. Gives a whole bunch of fizz damage, some attack speed, some move speed. You get a level 15 when you have Rampage, it's going to trigger a level 15 Manifest Dancing Dervish. It disables, it says Manifested Dancing Dervish disables both of your weapon slots, but then when Rampage ends, the Dancing Dervish dies. It's a very bizarre item. It does something that I don't think I'm not even sure, and there's a comparable, there's not even really like a comparable item in PoE, and I'm trying to pull up a video right now so you can kind of see what it does. Maybe I'll grab one later on. Yeah, it's bizarre. It's a very cool item, but it does something very unique. I might just insert like a little video clip of it later if I can find one. The Goldrim and Wanderlust I kind of put in their own section because we have owned both of these before, but they were leveling items on a character that got killed while leveling, so we lost both of them. Well, I got them both back, and I actually have a second set of Wanderlust here, so we're well on our way to not having to worry about... Where is it? I went in here. We're well on our way to not having to worry about getting additional copies in the future, which is really nice. Lightning Coil is a very cool item. Gives a bunch of lightning damage to attacks. It's an armor and evasion base. Gives you a bunch of life. And then what it does is it gives you a massive loss to your lightning resistance. So you get a huge -60 to your lightning res, and then 30% of your physical damage from your hits is taken as lightning damage. So it offsets a whole bunch of physical damage if you can make up the minus lightning resistance. People have used it in the past for some really broken interactions with the minus lightning resistance to try to take as much damage as possible. I think a lot of that has been like patched or phased out, but there may be still some... I'll have to look up. There may be still some pretty broken stuff we could do with the lightning coil because we could take as much lightning damage as possible and maybe get pretty tanky. Skirmish is a quiver, gives some intelligence, some mana regen. You leech mana. If you haven't figured out the theme, you get a bunch of mana, and then your attack skills have +1 to your maximum number of summoned totems. So yeah, a lot of mana leech, and then kind of a little bit of random +1 totem stuff thrown in at the end there. For unique maps, we got the red tier beachhead, so that means we have 2 out of the 4 beachheads. We are missing the yellow beachhead, which is a tier... I think it ends up being tier 10. It's like tier 6 to 10 beachhead, and then we need the infused beachhead. So we have 2. We have the white one, and we have the red one. Corrupted a Crimson Jewel and got I think this is the 4th different jewel we've found from Corrupting Crimsons. Blood Sacrifice is a really cool one. You lose 1% of your life and your energy shield on kill, but you recover 1% of your mana on kill. Very simple. Pretty interesting. I don't know that I know any build that uses it, but a pretty interesting one. Rolling Flames is like a transformation effect on your fireball. As long as you meet the intelligence requirement, then your fireball does not ignite, but instead your fireball scorches enemies, and scorching is a different ailment other than ignite. Sybil's Lament gives you additional fire damage to attacks. You have reduced rarity of items found, not increased, but reduced rarity of items found. But the big thing that it does is, depending on whether you put it in your left or your right ring slot, you and your minions either take 80% reduced reflected LE damage or 80% reduced reflected physical damage. So it's kind of meant to offset reflect builds. Now that you don't run into as many, like now that mobs don't have the reflect on them randomly out of nowhere, so you're one-shotting yourself from off the screen, this is a lot less useful, but still a pretty neat item. And then Bisco's Leash is a great one, especially for attack builds. It gives you a bunch of strength, it gives you increased quantity of items found, it gives you a bunch of cold res, and then it gives you increased rarity of items found per 15 rampage kills, and it has rampage. So for instance, if you can get up to 150 rampage, you're going to get 10% increased rarity while you have it. So basically, as long as you can keep rampage up, you're going to get a whole lot more items, and especially a lot rarer items. So that is the roundup here. You know, like I said, I'll try to find maybe a clip of the Dancing Dervish in action. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just leave it alone. But the important thing is, drum roll please, that puts us at, boom, 303. We have passed over the 300 unique threshold, which is incredibly exciting. I am very pumped about. So yeah, we're up over 300. We've got still an incredible amount of work to do, but it's really nice. As I've been scrolling through the uniques here, I'm going to bring them on the screen here. The unique tracker that we've been using, it's been really nice as we filled in more of these. I really don't have any space except for the section with replica uniques. There's pretty much no space anymore where we can have a full screen of just reds. There's pretty much greens everywhere we go down this list until you get to the replica section, which, you know, this is a whole thing. This is going to be a problem. So, Lighty, if you can get your div card made that gives replica uniques, that would be wonderful. I got to fill these in. We know what they are obviously now, but I haven't filled in the rest of these for the ritual uniques, but that's the amount that there are. So yeah, we're making really good progress. I'm really happy with where we are, and we're just going to keep going. Well, Big Papa Harvey.
Mid-shot.
Oof. This is my favorite thing about my loot filter, is doing beachhead maps. Oh, I'm gonna have to crank down the volume on that because that was ear shattering. But yeah. All right, prepare for sadness in 3, 2, 1. Here it is. This was the first death of the league that really got me. So, was working on taking down Vol in the, was it T16 Wasteland? I got bled to death. He was actually almost dead. She's been healing him for a minute now. But yeah, I got bled to death, walked a couple of steps. I hit my bleed flash, didn't realize the flash charges were gone because I just killed a pack of these, and apparently it didn't refill the charges enough. I literally took like 2-3 steps and bled out. Man, that really sucks. So I was 93 and 50% exactly because it dropped me down to 40. So that's it for that champ. That's a soul. What do we have for? Oh man. That's really not good. Alright. Let's check the items. And obviously I lost a soul tether, but I lost a bunch of investment in other stuff that's really bumming me out. Lost a soul tether, lost a lion's roar. I was almost level 20 on the earth shatter. Yeah. That's it for the Earthshadow champ. I don't really know what else to say. We'll have to pick a new build. Might go back and play Vortex. Might look at the uniques and figure something else out. But that is a massive bummer. Oh well. We go again. And that's going to do it for this episode of Uniquely Hardcore. I kind of purposefully meant to end it with that death. I know it seems like kind of a downer, but I don't want it to be viewed like that. Obviously, it was a huge bummer to lose that character when we did. The funny thing is that I didn't realize at the time that I died, that was literally, I had one more map to go to get the 20th Watchstone. I was literally one fight prior to being able to fight the Conqueror for my 20th Watchstone and moving on to the first serious fight of the league. So, yeah, obviously a big loss. The items, the Soul Tether and Lion's Roar was a big loss, and the character just time investment. That was the first one that I had a bunch of time invested into that really hit me. But I really want to focus on that last line when I said we go again. That is the spirit of this challenge. It's the reason we're doing it in hardcore, for an extra challenge, as well as more just a reason to kind of push myself and grow as a Path of Exile player. So obviously it takes a minute to get over that, but I'm long since over it, and I was kind of looking forward to getting past the clips of that guy to show new builds and new things that we've been doing. So yeah, it was a loss, but that happens, and we're moving on, as you can see, playing new stuff, and got lots more exciting stuff to show you. So that being said, that's it for this week. We'll be back with the episode next week featuring new builds, new characters, new fun stuff to do. So that's going to do it for this week. I have been Shaq Central, and I will see you guys in the next one.